A lot of dudes out here pointing fingers. They talk about how women change, how they ain't the same no more, how they lost their way. But what they really running from is the mirror, because the truth is, it ain't about women changing. It's about men falling off. Somewhere along the line, we stopped holding ourselves accountable. We started blaming everybody else for the results of our own lack of discipline, our lack of focus, our lack of growth. See, it's easy to talk about how the world used to be, how women used to move, how relationships used to look, but that world don't exist no more. The game evolved, and if you're still playing by the old rules, you're already losing. Accountability is the difference between men who build legacies and men who live in regret. Every time you point a finger, remember three pointing right back at you. That's life's way of reminding you that the fix starts within. Women didn't just wake up and decide to be different. They adapted, their energy shifted, they started chasing independence, education, freedom, things they watch men talk about but never truly embody. So they went and became the things they wanted to see. Meanwhile, a lot of men got comfortable. Comfort is the killer of greatness. You can't lead from comfort, you can't protect from comfort, you can't inspire from comfort. And then you look around and wonder why respect don't come easy no more. It's because respect recognizes effort, not excuses. Real accountability is taking inventory of life. Where you at right now, that's on you. Not your parents, not your girl, not your boss, not the system. It's you. Every decision you made got you here. That don't mean you blame yourself. It means you own it. Once you own it, you can change it. That's power. That's freedom. Accountability ain't punishment. It's ownership. It's the key that unlocks growth. Most men want the crown, but not the weight that comes with wearing it. You talk about being the king of your household, but what kingdom you building? You can't lead if you can't control yourself. You can't demand loyalty when you move like chaos. A king earns respect by how he carries his purpose. He don't chase validation, he builds foundation. Accountability is that foundation. You can't skip it, you can't fake it, and you can't outsource it. When you start blaming women, you start seeing the truth. You realize they respond to energy. You put out strength, you get trust. You put out confusion, you get distance. You put out growth, you get respect. That's the law. You attract what you are, not what you demand. So if you feel like every woman around you lost direction, maybe it's time to ask if you've been walking in circles too. There's power in humility. Real men ain't afraid to admit when they slipping. They don't hide behind pride or ego. They look themselves in the eye and say, I gotta tighten up. That's the kind of man that earns his place. Because he ain't waiting for the world to change for him. He changing himself to shift the world around him. That's how a legacy is built. Blame is a trap. It keeps you stuck in the same story, the same pain, the same cycle. Accountability sets you free. It makes you dangerous in the best way. Not because you control people, but because you control yourself. When you move with purpose, when you operate with discipline, people feel it. The world responds. Women respond. Respect follows. So stop talking about how women ain't what they used to be. Ask yourself, are you what you're supposed to be? Are you living by principles or are you drifting off emotion? Are you leading by example or complaining about results? Every man has a choice. You can stay bitter or you can get better. You can talk about change or you can become the change. At the end of the day, accountability is the real flex. Anybody can talk tough. Anybody can post quotes, but few can look in the mirror and do the work. The grind don't lie. Your habits tell the truth. You either disciplined or you not. You either focused or distracted. You either growing or decaying. That's what separates boys from men. Ownership. So yeah, the world's different. Women are different, but real men, they don't complain about the temperature. They adjust the thermostat. They set the tone. They move with vision, integrity, and consistency because they know greatness don't come from control. It comes from character. And once you get that, once you really start holding yourself accountable, you stop chasing and start attracting. You stop blaming and start building. You stop talking about the past and start creating the future. That's when everything changes, not just for you, but for everyone who looks up to you. That's when men wake up. A lot of people think what's going on right now between men and women is just about gender roles. Who's supposed to cook, who's supposed to lead, who's supposed to make the money. But that's surface talk. What's really going on is an energy shift. The vibration changed. The old balance got shaken up, and now everybody's trying to find their place in a new world that moves faster, thinks deeper, and expects more. See, there was a time when men were the providers and women were expected to follow. But life evolved. Opportunity opened up, The internet gave people platforms, education became global, money started moving differently. Women started seeing that they didn't gotta wait for somebody to hand them stability, they could go get it themselves. And that scared a lot of men who built their identity on being needed instead of being valuable. There's a difference. When you're valuable, your presence adds peace, vision, structure. When you're just needed, your worth disappears the moment somebody learns to survive without you. That's the shift right there. The world don't reward control anymore. It rewards contribution. It don't care about what role you play. It cares about what value you bring. That's why so many men feel lost. They were raised in a system that told them that power came from authority, not alignment. But real power is energy, is how you move, how you think, how you influence. The energy you carry determines how people respond to you. Women tapped into that early. They started studying self-love, emotional awareness, mental health. They became students of the energy men used to ignore. And while men were laughing at affirmations and vision boards, women were using them to build focus, confidence, and purpose. They didn't change just for looks. They changed their mindset. They built their own economy, their own peace. That's why when a man comes with old energy, ego, control, insecurity, she can see through it. She's evolved past it. Now, that don't mean men are the problem. It means we got work to do. The same energy that built empires, led nations, and created legacies, that masculine energy needs to evolve too. The world don't need louder men, it needs wiser ones. Men who can adapt, lead with clarity, and move with emotional intelligence. It ain't about dominating anymore, it's about harmonizing. The universe been trying to tell us balance creates progress, not pride. When you understand that, you stop fighting the shift. You stop trying to force women back into who they used to be, and you start elevating yourself into who you're meant to be. Because the truth is, women didn't outgrow men. They just outgrew the version of men who stopped growing. The moment you start moving with purpose again, start chasing growth, start speaking from discipline instead of fear, you realize the energy don't compete, it connects. The energy shift exposed everything fake. It made it impossible to hide behind status, money, or image. Now people feel your frequency. They can sense your intentions. You can't fake masculine presence. It's either built from consistency or it's empty. Same goes for feminine energy. It's either nurturing and strong or it's wounded and defensive. Everybody's feeling the effects of their own energy now. And that's why so many relationships feel unstable. Because people trying to build love on outdated patterns. Men got to stop complaining that women too independent now. Independence was the goal all along. Freedom was always the dream. But freedom don't mean disconnection. It means both sides stand tall so they can meet eye to eye, not one above the other. That's balance. When two complete energies come together, that's power. That's what builds families, communities, nations, not submission, alignment. So this shift ain't something to fear, it's something to learn from. It's a call to evolve. If the world around you changing, you can't stay the same and expect relevance. You got to grow with it. You got to build new habits, new thoughts, new levels of awareness. The same way women learn to be strong and soft at the same time, men got to learn to be focused and open at the same time. That's the new power. The game now is energy management. Protect yours, build it, feed it with knowledge, with discipline, with purpose. Because when your energy right, everything around you aligns. You don't got to chase respect. It naturally comes. You don't got to control nobody because your presence leads on its own. That's how the real ones move. Quiet confidence, solid energy. So yeah, women ain't what they used to be, and that's a blessing. It means the world is moving forward. The question is, are you? Are you still holding on to outdated beliefs, or are you learning how to operate on a higher frequency? Because if you're stuck in the past, the future gonna pass you by. The energy shifted, not to make you smaller, but to make you greater. The balance between man and woman ain't competition, it's elevation. When you understand that everything changes, you stop looking at this new era as a threat and start seeing it as a challenge to rise, to evolve, to match the level of greatness that's already being lived around you. Because when both sides bring their best energy, that's when the world wins. A lot of men confuse leadership with control. They think being a man means calling the shots, barking orders, telling everybody how to move. But that's not leadership, that's insecurity wearing a mask. Real leadership starts with how you carry yourself when nobody's watching. It's how you treat people when you got power over them. It's how you handle pressure when life testing your patience. Leadership ain't about domination, it's about direction. It's not about fear, it's about faith. See, control is rooted in fear. The fear of losing relevance, losing status, losing respect. The leadership, that's rooted in purpose. When you lead, you ain't worried about controlling people. You focus on inspiring them. You don't gotta force nobody to follow when your vision is clear and your character is solid. People naturally align with energy that feels grounded, consistent, and true. That's what real manhood is, not loud, not aggressive, but powerful in presence. A man who leads understands he's responsible for more than himself. His decisions echo through the people around him, his woman, his kids, his circle, his community. That's why leadership takes discipline. You can't guide others if you can't master your own impulses. You can't demand respect while you disrespect yourself through bad habits, lazy thinking, or emotional immaturity. Leadership means you set the tone. You show what right looks like through your consistency, not your commands. The world don't need more men who want to be in control. It needs men who understand influence. Control fades when people stop listening. Influence lasts because it's built on trust. You earn that trust when you walk your talk, when your actions match your words. That's when people start to believe in your leadership. Not because they have to, because they want to. Some men out here think leadership means being a provider. But money don't make you a leader. Maturity does. Integrity does. Vision does. Leadership is about bringing peace with its chaos, clarity with its confusion. It's about lifting the people you love instead of competing with them. A real man don't dim nobody's light to make his own shine brighter. He builds a space where everybody glows together. When you try to control people, you suffocate them. You kill trust. You turn love into fear. But when you lead, you empower, you make people feel seen, respected, and valued. That's what every strong woman really wants, not a man who controls her, but a man whose presence brings peace, whose vision inspires, whose energy feels safe. Leadership builds security. Control breeds resistance. Manhood ain't about how loud you can talk or how tough you look. It's about what you build, what you protect, what you nurture. Every real leader been through struggle. They know pain. They know failure. They learn how to stay solid when life fell apart. That's why people follow him, because they've been tested and still move with grace. You can't fake that. You earn that through experience, humility, and patience. If you lead with control, you always got to remind people who you are. But if you lead with wisdom, your presence speaks for you. That's the difference. Control is temporary. Leadership is eternal. It outlives you. It turns into legacy. Your kids gonna move different because of how you move. Your woman gonna love different because of how you live. Your circle gonna grow stronger because of how you handle pressure. That's leadership impact that spreads long after you stop speaking. Men need to understand leadership starts from within. You can't lead your home if your mind's in chaos. You can't lead your woman if your emotions lead you. You can't lead your dreams if your fears run the show. So before you try to guide anybody else, get your inner world in order. Study yourself. Master your energy. Get your vision straight. Once your foundation is strong, everything around you aligns. When you lead right, control ain't even necessary. People follow because they trust your direction. They feel your intention. They see the results. Leadership attracts loyalty, not obedience. Loyalty is real. Obedience is temporary. The difference is love. When people know you got their best interests at heart, they'll walk through fire with you. That's the real essence of manhood. Not control, not ego, not pride, but leadership through love, through protection, through service. You lead by how you handle adversity, how you treat people, how you move when no one clapping. You lead by how you bounce back when you fall. So yeah, manhood ain't about holding power with people. It's about empowering the people around you. It's about building legacies, not cages. It's about standing tall, not standing over. Real leadership don't scream and inspires. It don't control, it guides. That's the difference between men who talk about respect and men who actually earn it. And the ones who understand that, they don't just lead, they change everything they touch. The world don't move the same no more. The power dynamic done shifted, the game flipped. And a lot of people still acting like it didn't. Back in the day, power was about control. Who had the money, who had the say, who could make the rules. But now, power looks different. It's energy, it's influence, it's awareness. The ones who understand that are the ones who stay ahead. The ones still chasing old forms of control are the ones watching life passing by. See, women ain't waiting on men no more. They ain't sitting around hoping somebody come Save them. They learn how to save themselves. They learn how to build. They learn how to stand alone if they have to. That's not attitude. That's evolution. They've been watching men drop the ball for too long, watching dudes talk leadership, but never show it. So they picked up the slack, they adapted, and they started using their voice. That's not a threat. That's the universe balancing itself out. But here's the thing, when balance changes, energy tests everybody. When the power dynamic shifts, it exposes who's solid and who is just comfortable. The men who built their worth off control start panicking. The men who built their worth off purpose keep rising. Because power that's built on ego collapses when the world evolves. But power built on principles, that lasts forever. A lot of men feel uncomfortable right now because the things that used to impress don't hit the same. Flash don't mean leadership. Money don't mean respect. Titles don't mean vision. Women see through that now. The world see through that. You can't fake presence. You can't fake growth. You can't fake peace. That's the new currency, peace, purpose, and alignment. This generation of women been through too much to settle for empty talk. They want consistency. They want energy that feels safe, not suffocating. And the men who understand that don't feel threatened. They feel challenged to grow. Because the real ones know power was never about domination. It was about direction. The goal was never to stand above women. It was to stand beside them, build with them, protect them, and evolve together. That's why this shift ain't a loss for men, it's a test. It's asking, who are you without control? When you can't hide behind status, what's left? When you can't manipulate the situation, can you still lead? When a woman got her own money, her own peace, her own options, what do you really bring to the table? That's the question. That's where the separation happens between males and men. The real ones ain't scared of a strong woman. They see her strength as a reflection of what they attract. They respect it, they honor it, they match it. Because real power don't compete, it connects. The shift just exposed the ones who built their identity off being needed instead of being valuable. Now they got to learn how to bring more than control to the table. They got to bring wisdom, stability, leadership, protection, and purpose. That's what real masculinity looks like in this new era. And let's be real, this change was overdue. Too long, power sat in one corner. Too long, women were told to be quiet, to follow, to wait. But every time you silence strength, it finds a new way to speak. Every time you suppress energy, it grows louder. That's what's happening now. The suppressed energy finally found its voice. The question ain't why did the power shift? The question is, what are you gonna do with it? You can fight it or you can evolve with it. You can complain or you can adapt. The ones who stay bitter about the change gonna fade out. The ones who embrace it gonna lead the future. Power ain't about who got control anymore. It's about who got alignment. You can have all the money, all the looks, all the words, but if your energy off, people feel it. The new world runs on vibration. So yeah, the power dynamic shifted, but it ain't the end. It's the beginning of balance. It's the call for men to step back into purpose, not control. To build from peace, not pride. To lead with vision, not fear. Women didn't steal power, they just claimed the power they always had. Now it's up to men to evolve, to level up, to meet that energy with strength, not insecurity. At the end of the day, real power don't shift, it expands. The word just reminding us what it was supposed to be all along. Equal energy, mutual respect, two forces that move together, not against each other. That's the next level. That's the new balance. And the ones who understand that, they're not worried about who got power, they're focused on how to build with it. Men gotta wake up. The energy been sleeping too long. Too much potential wasted on distractions, on validation, on trying to prove something that don't even matter. The world changed, but a lot of men still stuck in the same loops. Talking about purpose, but not walking in it. Talking about leadership, but avoiding responsibility. This is the time to tap back in. Masculine energy ain't dead, it's just been quiet. It's been drowned out by noise, by ego, by confusion. But now's the moment to rise again, not to dominate, but to rebuild. See, masculine energy ain't about aggression. It's about direction. It's the ability to stay solid when life shakes you. It's how you protect, how you provide, how you guide, not just for others, but for yourself first. Because if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead nobody else. And we're out here full of men with opinions but no discipline. They want to be respected but don't move with integrity. Respect don't come from demanding it. It comes from earning it through your actions, through your consistency. This is a wake-up call, not for the weak, but for the chosen. For the ones who know deep down they were built for more but been sleeping on their potential. Too many men lost their edge, forgot their mission, traded purpose for pleasure. And when purpose disappears, chaos fills the space. That's why everything feels off, because the masculine energy that's supposed to bring structure been drifting. But it ain't too late. It never is. You just got to decide to stand up again. The world needs grounding men. And men who move with calm power, not loud insecurity. Men who think before they speak, build before they boast, act before they argue. The internet got too many voices, too many people talking about what men should be, what women should be. But truth is, real masculinity don't need to be explained, it needs to be lived. When you carry it right, people feel it. It's in your posture, your tone, your discipline, your peace. Masculine energy is the anchor of the world. It brings balance to the storm. When men lose alignment, everything else starts falling apart. Homes, relationships, communities. That's why this moment matters. Every man got to look in the mirror and ask, am I standing on purpose or am I floating through life? If you floating, it's time to wake up. The world ain't slowing down. The people who moving with vision already building what you still thinking about. Wake up to your power. You got the ability to shift your whole life, not by talking about it, but by executing, by getting your body right, your mind right, your spirit right. Masculine energy thrives on order. It needs goals. It needs structure. You can't evolve in chaos. You can't grow in comfort. You got to challenge yourself daily. Wake up early. Move with intention. Be intentional with your words, your time, your energy. Every moment is a test. Either you building discipline or destroying it. And this ain't about women, it's about men. It's about us. Because once you restore masculine energy, everything around you shifts. Your relationships get healthier, your work gets stronger, your presence gets respected, and you don't got to argue for your place. It's understood. The masculine don't chase, it attracts through consistency and vision. That's what women respect. That's what the world respects. Stop complaining about how things used to be. That time gone. This is a new era and it requires evolved men. Men who can adapt, think, build, and protect without losing their soul. The old model of masculinity was about control. The new model is about creation. You create stability, create opportunity, create peace. You don't wait for somebody else to do it. That's real strength. Every man got a choice right now. Stay asleep or wake up and lead. Stay distracted or lock in and build. Stay talking or start moving. The ones who wake up gonna set the tone for the next generation. The ones who stay asleep gonna get left behind. It's that simple. This ain't just motivation, it's a reminder. The same fire that built empire still inside you. You just gotta stop hiding it behind fear, excuses, and comfort. Get up, get focused, get disciplined. The world needs your strength, your wisdom, your balance. Masculine energy ain't just muscles and money. It's mindset and movement. It's the force that keeps life in rhythm. So yeah, this is that call, the one you feel in your gut, the one that make you uncomfortable but inspired at the same time. Don't ignore it. Stand on business. Handle your responsibilities. Sharpen your mind. Guard your peace. Lead your circle. Build your legacy. Because the moment you wake up, the whole world feels it. The shift starts with you.